Hey guys, good to see you. This is Elle, and today we are going to read about a cold case. This happened back in 1991, November 25th specifically, and this is Mark. I believe his last name is pronounced Himebaugh. I'll let you read it and you can see. Let's see if we can get him in there where you can actually see him. I have such a glare. Goodness. Stop glaring. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Aha. I think you can see him. All right, cute little kid, right? He was 11 years old, red head, freckles, just an all-American kid. Um, Crazy thing is, he went outside, and I'm just going to read you kind of the description of what this says on the missing persons website. He went outside. He wanted to watch the fire department put out a fire, a brush fire near his home. And his home was in New Jersey. So he's in Del Haven. He lived not far from the water, and that's significant because I'll give you some information about that. The police believe he was abducted by a stranger. So he went outside. I will say that it is also reported here that he was emotionally disturbed. That's the way they describe him, but that he was on medication and getting better. So I'm throwing that in there because there's different theories, of course, of what happened to him. Emotionally disturbed has to do with one of those theories, as you may imagine. So last seen at his house, went out to watch the firefighters put out the fire. His mom ran to run an errand, was back in 40 minutes. She thought he was outside still playing with kids. Didn't see him return home later that day and started looking for him. And of course, they could not find him. So here's what people have said they saw, what the police have dug up. He may have been in the company with two other males that day. They give a description, kind of one was estimated to be 30 to 35 years old, dark reddish brown hair in a ponytail, 5'8", 5'9", 150 pounds, generally unkept. Okay, so there's this person. This case gets really weird. Stay with me here. Mom had reported him missing. Somebody said they thought they saw him with this guy. Then another person said they saw him with two people, two men, but there was no description of the other one. All right. Then also he was seen perhaps with a girl, a young girl who had, I think she had red hair. Let me look. Entering a nearby park with an unidentified young girl. Oh, dishwater blonde hair, 4 feet tall, 70 to 75 pounds, so probably right around his age. And police never did find that mystery girl either. So here's the strange thing, all right? So some people think he was with this girl and then disappeared, which he's 11 years old. It's not like he went off and had a rendezvous and they took off and got married. He's 11. Uh, on the other hand, he was also seen with perhaps these two men. Now, the two men is interesting because they did a sketch of the one man that I described, and he lined up with this Thomas Buttcavage, I believe is the way they pronounce his name. And this person, Thomas, may have been one of those men that was seen with him. Now, here's a weird thing. A male prostitute approached police with the video of this Thomas guy sexually assaulting a young boy who looked like Mark. The boy in the video, who was handcuffed and gagged, appeared frightened. According to the man, the prostitute, who had brought this forward, Thomas, the man who potentially abducted Mark, said the boy was Mark and that he had planted a sneaker on the beach, Mark's sneaker, to hinder the investigation. So one of Mark's sneakers was found on the beach. Above the tide line was found Mark's footprints. I don't know if he planted a sneaker if there'd be footprints. So it's kind of, it goes back and forth. Would he have thought to put footprints in the sand with the shoes? I don't know. Anyway, this man has obviously they think there's a video, right? The kid looks like Mark. But there's other people who think perhaps Mark went to the beach and disappeared on his own, potentially committed suicide. I know it's crazy at 11 years old, but it does happen. And that's why his shoe was found on the beach. He was emotionally disturbed. Remember, there was the emotionally disturbed part. But police do believe he was abducted. I like this case. Not that I like any of them, but the cool thing about this case, and I'm sure they'll do this in future cases, is that they are going to try to solve this case using AI, artificial intelligence. One of the first, I believe, that's going in that direction. So they're going to put all the information that they have into, I forget which one it's called, but one of these artificial intelligence engines, whatever you call them, and it's going to try to solve this case with the information that they can provide. So that's why I wanted to read on it, because I want to see what the artificial intelligence tells the police, and I hope they will release it. This happened back in 1991, so it's been a long time. I'm hoping they'll release that information to the public and that we will perhaps be able to compare what the cards said with what the artificial intelligence comes up with. How cool is that? We don't get to do that every day. So let's read about Mark. And I'm hoping they'll do that with more cases and we'll be able to do that with the cards because that really, really just perks my interest. Call me weird. I'm a geek like that. Don't like the devil card on the bottom. That does make me feel like this Thomas weirdo guy that had the video may have had something to do with this. And that's because those people are, remember he was like gagged and all that stuff in bondage, and these people are in chains. It's not good. It's not good to see that on the bottom. But we're going to ask about that Thomas guy. We're going to ask if it was somebody else. Heck, we're going to ask about the little girl. We're going to ask a bunch of questions. With the information that they have, same questions they're probably putting into this artificial intelligence and see what it comes up with. So, new spin on tarot readings today, huh? That'll be cool. And if they do post what they find, I'll put it in the comments and then you guys can watch it and we'll see how close we get, because that's what I love about tarot. I love to do these readings and then see when they actually find the person, how close we were. That I think is cool. All right, so first thing I'm going to ask is, was he abducted by a stranger? You know, I need just a second to kind of focus my energy here. Mark Himebaugh, and tell us about him being abducted by a stranger. We're also going to ask about him going into the water on his own. Some people are thinking that is what happened. All right, tell us about Mark being abducted by a stranger. Well, this is the Queen of Wands. That, honestly, that makes me feel more like a woman, which we do have that whole girl scenario too. Right away, I thought of his mother when I got that card, to be honest with you, which is weird, right? She's not a suspect at all. Hmm. Let me ask for clarification on that because I was not expecting a Queen of Wands. That's more pointing me towards a woman. Well, this woman looked the other way. Okay, so we know that Mom wasn't paying attention, and I guess that's what I see. The reason I'm saying that is look at this card. I mean, it's Queen of Wands. The woman's looking the other way. She's going about her activities and not paying attention. We got that. I mean, before her is a black cat, which some people may say is bad luck, and maybe because she looked the other way, the bad luck struck. And that's what that card could be saying. She should have been watching her kid. You don't go away for 40 minutes and leave your 11-year-old. Well, some people do, but a lot of people don't. Because things can happen, especially when he's out playing, you're not even home. But let's see. We don't want to blame the victim here. The cards are, I think, alluding to right away, it is kind of making more sense to me as I watch it. So Mom was off, kind of looking the other way, doing her things. We've got the black cat with bad luck. And look, we do have two people here. And there was the thought of two men. I'm just saying two people. These are two lions, actually, but that's what's coming across to me as Looking the other way, bad luck with two people. It makes sense. Um, so I think maybe he was abducted, but I think it might have been two people. Tell me more about Mark being abducted as opposed to the water, which we'll do next. And that's not good. I don't ever like this card. That is the Four of Swords. Again, we've got a mother and child here, which is very interesting that this mother and child keeps coming in. The mother. I keep getting information about the mother in these cards. This is the Four of Swords. You can look at it online if you want. It's a mosaic up here with the mother and child, and then we have the person laying on a coffin. Do I need to explain? That doesn't look good, right? It's not the greatest outcome from what we see. And things happening really fast. And that too is what I believe happened here. I believe it happened very, very fast. I don't think mother was watching clearly the child the way she should have been. She did love her kid from what I see, but was a little neglectful in that moment. And it unfortunately, it looks like something happened very, very fast. And I do think, guys, let's ask about the water because I'm questioning, you know, here's things happening fast and I do see water in here. So let's go that route and see if that had anything to do with Mark's disappearance. Tell us about the water. Was he in that water that day when his shoe was found by it? Okay, let's see what we get. Tell us about the water. No, I think again we've got that whole thing happening fast and it looks like a guy doing stuff fast. So I do think he was kidnapped. That's what it looks like to me. I'm going to specifically ask if he was kidnapped. I think somebody just came really fast and took him. Tell us about Mark being kidnapped. And that person does not have good intentions. And they are rushing and they have made plans and boom, and it's not looking good. And they're traveling, probably threw him in a car. That's the horse in that picture is the image of traveling. So tell us about this Mark being kidnapped. Let's just ask Mark being kidnapped and then we'll ask if it was Thomas. Yeah, see, that doesn't look good at all. That's the tower. Does not look good at all. So yeah, I do feel like he was definitely kidnapped. We're going to ask about Thomas. This Thomas Butt Cabbage. I know that's a weird name. Thomas. Tell us about Thomas's involvement in Mark's kidnapping. I mean, if he had a video that looked like Mark on it, I wonder if they still have that video and if they can use that video maybe to see if that's Mark somehow. Tell us about that. Tell us about Thomas being the person that was involved in Mark's kidnapping. This is the Hanged Man, so this is somebody watching. The Hanged Man usually is not somebody acting, though, to be honest with you. The Hanged Man can't move, although didn't we have Mark bound and gagged? In that sense, the Hanged Man very well could be describing Mark, and that's not good. So with that, I also got this Nine of Pentacles here, and that is somebody doing things independently. So I'm not sure there were two people. I'm not 100% sure on that. And this person has a captive, which is this bird right there. They've got a hood over its head, and that bird, you know, that those birds are captive when they have a hawk that's theirs. Like this person's in control of it, and that hawk has to do it, their bidding. That hawk has to listen to them. That hawk is theirs. So I do feel like he was kidnapped. I do feel potentially one person. Let me ask one or two. We're just going to pull a card for one person or two people and see what we get with that. Tell us about one person being his kidnapper. Do you feel like he was kidnapped? Tell us about one person being Mark's kidnapper. Tied up, definitely. Well, I got two cards here. Okay. I get that. But let me pull the second one, two people, and just see where we'll compare. This is giving me more of a story, so that's good too. We'll have more information. Tell me about two people being in Mark's kidnapping. And I'll let you know what I pulled in just a second here. Okay, so that one's two people. Okay, I think it's only one, to be honest with you. And I say that because we have this person kind of working at it, working towards it. I think this person could have even watched him before. We saw that with the hangman. I feel like this person was watching him, maybe even watching his mom with that Nine of Pentacles as a potential that he was watching mom and seeing what she was doing too, and working towards kidnapping him. And I say that because he also came towards him as a friend. See, we've got this Knight of Cups, and that's I'm your friend. I'm a good guy. You know, let me be friends with you. Let me be nice to you. So this guy potentially could have worked around that area too. That's what I'm getting. And strength, overpowering someone. And that's what we saw. I think he overpowered him. I don't see two people. I see one. So I feel like he was kidnapped by one person, not two. So that's a little different than the story that was told. Let's ask if there was Mark in that video. That's horrible if it is, and I hope it's not. Was that Mark in the video that male prostitute showed the police? Was that Mark in that video? I really hope not. What a life. Was that Mark in that video? It doesn't look good, does it? I do feel like it probably was, unfortunately, because this, the son, and Mark was someone's son, and he's naked. To me, it's not looking real good. I think it was. He's really exposed in this card. I think it was him. I think it was. That's really sad. Ugh. Terrible, terrible, terrible. All right, so things look really bad. Did Thomas plant the shoe? Let's ask about that. Did Thomas, the kidnapper, plant the shoe? It does look like, from what I'm seeing, Thomas did kidnap him. Did Thomas plant Mark's shoe at the beach? Well, that's a yes card for sure. That's the Six of Wands. That's a victory card, you know. And he did seem to have thrown them off for a while there until he started showing pictures of the kid to male prostitutes. I mean, just bizarre stuff. Absolutely bizarre. So, yes, it looks like he planted the shoe at the beach. I told you this was a crazy case. So, I hate reading this next question, but we're going to ask because, we need to know what happened to Mark. So tell us about Mark today. Tell us about Mark today. Is Mark, I'm going to put it this way, is Mark in a body, breathing, as a human, walking around in a body on Earth, warm? Is Mark all of those things in a human body at this time? You hope best case scenario, like somebody took him, adopted him. I don't know. What is the best case scenario? He sold him to somebody that actually was nice to him? Is Mark in a human body walking around on Earth? Cards on top of each other. Let me spread them out a little bit better. Is Mark in a human body walking around on Earth? No. No, he's not. That's the moon. That's the card of anxiety. You see there's a wolf and a dog in here. It's people not being able to control their desires. The wolf acts on desire and instinct and is purely instinctual. And this card is a card of that. The desires that all of us have that are instinctual, that sometimes we know aren't good for us, but that our domesticated side often can overcome, and we push them aside and we say, no, I'm doing this. That didn't happen in Mark's case. In fact, I'm hearing like it could have even been, didn't they have snuff films or something? Ugh, I don't know why that stuff's coming to me, but that's gross. That's really gross. I don't feel like he has what I'm seeing. It's not looking good. I'll just say that. I would love to say something else. Um, this just doesn't look good. Tell us about where Mark is, where his body, alive or past, where is he? Tell us about where he is, and then we'll ask for a known landmark. Tell us about Mark's body, where he is. The moon may be, he may be in water. That may be a description of it. Well, he's hidden. We have the high priestess, and she's our person of hidden secrets. And then we have, obviously, this is mom, you know, 9 of swords, the pain, the agony, the can't sleep at night. We also have people fighting down here. They have sharp objects. It just doesn't look good. He's hidden. He's hidden somewhere. Potentially, says more about where he's hidden. Tell me more about where Mark is hidden. Tell me more about where Mark is hidden. Okay. Running out of space, running out of space. Tell me more about where Mark is hidden. Tell me more about that. Okay, so this is someone pretending. This is the Page of Cups, and this is by water, which we saw that somebody did pretend by water, right? We did get the Lovers, so that also makes me question what was going on. We know there were people that were doing weird things. These are naked people again. It sounds like they were doing weird things with the kid. They may have put him more in a water. I mean, that's possible, and it may have been. I don't like this reading. It's really creepy, to be honest with you. It's really weird. It's just a really weird reading. Really weird. Yeah. Does this person know the mom? I don't know. Let me ask, does this person know the mother? It doesn't sound like that Thomas knew the mom. Does the person who took Mark know the mother? I'm just asking this because of some of the cards I'm getting. No. That to me tells me I just feel like they watched things. They watched where she was. I think they watched his house. I'm just saying that because this is like a garden. It's like they were just kind of waiting for their opportunity, you know? Opportunity for something tangible. Which a body can be tangible, which a coin is tangible. It just seems like maybe in a roundabout way. I think this person actually watched him. I mean, it may have been just a weird um, look at the draw because the person acted really quickly, but I also feel like there was an element of surprise and planning. Surprise and planning all in one. It's very weird. Maybe they watched the mother leave and kind of had the thought that, oh, well, now I can have this kid. I don't know. It's very weird. Okay, let's ask for a known landmark. Known landmark around that area. It does look like the Thomas guy. Known landmark. Tell me about a known landmark. Known landmark that he is around. Well, that's the family home. I mean, that's not far from the family home. So either the family home or this person who took him's home. I'm sure the police searched around the family home like crazy, but this definitely is property of either the person who took him or his family's property. I'm going to go with the person who took him, that he's on that property. That's what it looks like. So that Thomas guy, they need to go back to where he was living or around where he was living because that is what it looks like to me. It could be his mother, his father, somebody extended too, but definitely something. We got this card with a guy that he dumped a body at a place he used to live. It's definitely something that you're tied to, that the predator is tied to, an area they're tied to. So either they lived there, their family was there, or it was a previous place. Let's ask if Mark will be found. I know it's been a long time, but now there's AI, right? Maybe it'll come up with something. Who knows? Tell us about Mark being found. It's been so long. Tell us about Mark being found. Okay, let's see. Tell us about Mark being found. He would be 43 years old today if he were alive. This is the Magicians. I think he's hidden really good. And we saw that with um, where was it? The High Priestess. She's around here somewhere. The Secrets, the secret hiding place. And I'm getting again, I just feel like he's hidden too good. Maybe even in the ocean, because we got that by the water stuff, pretending and all that stuff. Um, you know, I don't know. I'm just gonna say mom could have had a lover. That's sort of what I'm seeing when she went out. She may have went out to go see her lover instead of to run errands. That's terrible. But that is a potential that's coming out in the cards, to be honest with you. Um, it may not be. It may not be. But what I'm seeing here is that I don't think this kid's going to be found. And I do think that guy Mark, or Thomas did it. Let's see if Thomas will ever be held accountable for Mark's murder. Will Thomas be held accountable? He hasn't been all these years, even after they have a video of what appears to be him. I guess they just feel like, back then the videos weren't so clear. Tell us about Thomas being found guilty. I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna be. Let me ask again. I could see that card going both ways. That's Five of Cups, a lost card. Um, tell us, will Thomas be found guilty? But it feels like almost like they're not going to get justice. More so, which is terrible. Is he even alive? Will Thomas be found guilty? I guess I should look and see. I just don't think so. This is the Chariot. I mean, the Chariot is a card of like justice and getting your way, and but I feel more like I don't know. Did he pass on, or is he going to pass on before this happens? I feel like it's more like police kind of knowing, but I'm not sure he goes to jail. Let me put it that way. Tell me about Thomas going to jail for the murder of Mark. Tell me about that. Tell me about Thomas going to jail, prison for the murder of Mark. All right, there's these two. I just feel kind of like I feel like he gets away with it. 'Cause that's a man, that's him going away. Well, I mean, you could think of it like that. Going away, being put away into prison. Those kind of do look like prison bars, but in my mind, it's more escaping. Let me ask about him getting, not getting charged with this. And I'm going to look him up. Maybe he's dead because that was 1991. I mean, that was a while back. If he was, well, he's probably still alive. Tell me about Thomas not being charged, getting away with this. And that's the Page of Swords. So that's somebody small trying to stand up to something big. That's too much for them. It's too much for them. We saw this whole going away thing, trying to make it go away, making it really cloudy, trying to make it go away. I don't know if he's tried. I'm not convinced. I know I'm getting all these cards, but I think the police are onto it. Just don't know that they have enough. Tell me about him being charged. I just am not sure he gets away with it. Well, we've got justice and we've got kind of like, this is the justice card, which says, yeah, you're going to get justice. But then there's this other card with not all the facts, things are blind, you can't see. So it's like, it almost says things are so unclear that you may not get justice in this case. That's kind of the feeling I have. There's so much ambiguity. Like the video's not clear enough. There's just a lot that that looks like, I mean, it's like the police are on it, but I'm not sure if he actually is brought to justice. There's a lot of stuff that's not clear. We see that with the Page of Swords, with all those clouds back there. I don't know that the police are going to be able to make a clear enough case. If there's like that tiny shadow of doubt, if there's, anything that makes you feel like this could have not happened, we don't have enough proof. And I think that's where we are with this case. And we may remain here from what I see. I mean, I do like the justice card there, but with that two of swords, it's like a lot of ambiguity in that justice. A lot of ambiguity. Mm, that's a shame. That's a real shame. But I think this kid could be found if they look at the right places. I mean, it doesn't look like he's going to be. That's the reality of it. It's not looking promising. But let's see what AI says, and we'll compare if it ever is released. And I'll put it in the comments below. So yeah, summary looks like Thomas did do it from what I see. Looks like he acted fast when he got the kid. Could have potentially been watching this kid before that or seen him before that and was interested in him. Mom really wasn't paying attention to the kid. I think that's clear. And I do think it was him in the videos even, which is super creepy. And what we need to look at is Thomas's lover at the time. So did Thomas have a lover or lovers? Who is Thomas dating? Pretending? Could be something around that too, that would be where a lot more information could be found on this case. This is super creepy when you think about it. It's really, really gross. I don't think he's going to be found, unfortunately. We got the High Priestess and the Magician, hidden secrets. I just don't see it happening. And I don't think there's enough information to bring him to justice. I believe, though, at last I read, if I remember right, Thomas is in jail right now for sexual assault charges. I think that's the situation with him. Pretty sure. So, if nothing else, he And my phone just went nuts. But if nothing else, at least he's not running the streets, like, and not doing this to other kids. Let me just look real quick and confirm that, because I'm pretty sure that was the case. It's creepy. So creepy. Sex offenders, person of interest in cold case. So yeah, we know he's a known sex offender. Person of interest and continues to be one. Looks like the sketch that somebody said of someone they saw mark around. Um, Thomas has been in prison in Chester County, Pennsylvania for more than a decade for a number of underage sex assault convictions, according to state records. He was never charged with anything involving Mark's case. So at least he's in prison. Yeah, I do think he's the person. Okay, well, that is my wrap up of the Mark Himebaugh. I'm probably saying his name wrong because I say everybody's name wrong case, but that's as good as it gets. I don't see him being found, unfortunately. All right, see you guys. Bye bye.